the microbiota or the microbiome. Do you know what it is? Are you having any kind of symptoms and diseases? Do you know that the microbes that live inside of you can be playing a huge part in your disease, in your symptoms, and correcting these 37 trillion microorganisms that live within yourself that we call the microbiota, or some people call microbiome, but we are going to understand the difference. It can be a life-changing and a health-changing for you. So let's learn to correct your microbiome. Nice meeting you. I'm Eduardo Corassa, most known in Brazil for the name Dr. Corassa, because I'm a clinical nutritionist that have been preaching and living a natural hygiene lifestyle for 17 years. That means I teach and live the science of health, a lifestyle medicine model that preaches health through healthful living. So no pills, no potions, no surgeries whatsoever, but healthy lifestyle produces health. Healthful living produces health. So there's a lot to cover. So I suggest you to watch the other videos in the channel, but today we're going to talk about the microbiome. So what is actually the microbiome? The microbiome is the wrong word because the right word would be the microbiota. The microbiota is actually 37 trillion microorganisms that live inside of us. These microorganisms are actually mostly in our GI tract. Here we reserve 36 trillion microorganisms. It's like a lot more microorganisms than cell inside of us. And they do a lot of things. And that's why we usually use the word microbiome. Microbiome actually is the DNA, all the genes of these microbiotas, because human genes are only 2,000 genes. Microbiota genes are like maybe 10 times more or even more than that. So we have a lot more genes of these microbes than our genes. So each of these genes produce stuff inside of us, are responsible for our living beings, for our health. So the more diversity of this microbiota inside of us, the more diversity of genes, and the more they can help us to fight disease and to reach a long life. The beautiful part is that when we take care of these microbes, they take care of us. So how can we take care of these microbes? With healthful living and with a healthy diet. So let's understand the basics, the terminology behind it, so you can better take care of these living things inside of you so they can take a better care of you. So we have the word dysbiosis is when we have a microbiota imbalance. We have more pathogenic microbes inside of us instead of good bugs, instead of symbiotic bugs inside of us. So dysbiosis is when they are in an equilibrium. Eubiosis is when we are in equilibrium with them. We have more good bugs than bad bugs. So what induces dysbiosis? A lot of people already heard nowadays the term probiotics, because they want to take a pill to correct their gastrointestinal system. They're still thinking through allopathic medicine lenses that you can take a probiotic, but are they actually living inside of that pill? Because when you eat a food, those germs are actually alive over there, and they have like dozens of it. They have millions of it, and several different kinds of species of microbes living inside of the food or inside of you. But when you're taking a pill, they can be dead already, because how they can live inside a pill? And also, it probably is just one kind of species instead of several. I'm not in favor of probiotics. I'm in favor of prebiotic and probiotic also, but in food. So prebiotic is the food for the microbiome. So the fiber actually is a prebiotic. The fiber that we find in fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, tubers. Every plant has fiber in it. It's the skeleton of the plant is the fiber. So eating plants provides good fuel for your microbiota. But actually nowadays, we now know that living food, like an apple for example, has 10 million bugs living inside of it and in the skin of it. So when you eat an apple, you're providing the prebiotic, but also the probiotic. And when that fiber goes down through your digestive tract, you get the postbiotic. What is the postbiotic? Is the metabolites. They are actually the substances that these bugs produce to actually help you out, because you feed them and they feed you with their poop. Yeah, it's quite funny to hear, but yeah, they eat the fiber that you cannot digest that fiber, right? While they're eating, they're pooping good stuff inside of you. That is actually called primarily, there's several different ones, but they're primarily short chain fatty acids. Propionate, acetate, butyrate. These short chain fatty acids do a lot of stuff for us. It should be a topic for another video. I'm not going to get into details, but these postbiotics helps with our gut permeability or our intestinal barriers constructed by these postbiotics. So these postbiotics are actually anti-cancer properties, anti-diabetes properties. They help us with a lot of stuff. So it's important for us to feed the microbiota with their right food so they can feed us our right food. Instead of taking a probiotic in a capsule, it's better to eat raw living food. Why? Because science hasn't yet touched it in this subject, but I believe in the near future, we are going to understand that actually cooking your food can actually damage these small microorganisms that live inside the food, inside the living plant. So when we eat the raw plant, we get more bang for our buck. We get more microbiota from the food. The fiber, probably there's a lot of changes that happen to the microbiota, the prebiotic and the probiotic inside the food when we burn it for 250 Fahrenheit, for 250 Celsius for like an hour, half an hour, like we do with food in the oven. Fiber is the right food for the microbiome, and fiber is actually inverse correlated with all the chronic diseases that we know. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, neurological diseases, you name it. The higher the fiber intake, the higher the protection against these chronic diseases. So what you have to understand is that dysbiosis is actually connected to every kind of symptom that you may think of in the human body. Do you want my help to revert dysbiosis and reach a good state of microbiota health? I have 10 books published, but they're all in Portuguese. But this one is already available on Amazon in English. I also attend patients online or in person, but it's in Brazil. We have 6 online courses, and also we have retreats here in Brazil every semester. So January and July, come to Brazil, take a vacation, and also learn how to produce health and avoid disease by simple lifestyle changes. What causes dysbiosis is not just the wrong diet, but that's the reason I don't suggest taking probiotics, because it's a too narrow vision. You're trying to correct something instead of correcting the root cause of the problem. You're trying to band-aid the problem. You're trying to mop the floor while the faucet is still open. So there's no sense to it, because you have to correct the cause. And what is the cause? The lifestyle. It's not just one detail on the diet or just taking a probiotic and everything's going to be all right. You have to watch out for petrochemicals. The petrochemicals we use in our daily lives, the persistent organic pollutants like deodorants, pesticides in our food, detergent, makeup. There's a lot of things that can happen to us and that can damage our microbiota. For example, allopathic medicine like antibiotics, a lot of drugs for the intestines are actually causing dysbiosis. So you're taking a lot of allopathic medicine, you get dysbiosis, and you just think that the fix is just taking a probiotic. So you're taking another pill to correct the damage of the other pills, and you end up creating another disease with, it's unbelievable, our short-sightedness. So junk food, the wrong diet can actually feed the wrong microbes inside of us. So the wrong microbes, the ones that produce disease, inflammation inside of us, are feeding on junk food and animal products. Yes, the sulfur-containing amino acids, you probably ever heard of TMAO from choline and carnitine. So when you eat eggs or meat, you end up causing dysbiosis, and that can also help to produce heart disease, but a lot of other diseases from this metabolite that is called TMAO. It's something for another lecture. So C-section, a lot of people don't understand, but if you were born through the vagina of your mother, that helps actually to colonize your body with the right microbes. So at the moment of birth, your mother takes her microbes from her intestines and send out to the vagina. So when the baby crosses the vagina, he's actually being colonized by these microbes, and he's born with a better microbiota profile, and that can actually help the immune system and his immune system development throughout life. And also stress and a lot of other stuff can cause dysbiosis. But what can cause eubiosis then? Pretty easy. Exercise. Yes, exercise can actually help our gut bugs. Sleep is also good for the bugs. Chrononutrition, a lot of people don't understand, but if you see reflux, for example, a usual disease in people, one of the things that we know in science is that the reflux happens more when you eat at night. So when you eat earlier in the day, you don't have reflux. One of the reasons, I believe, is because of chrononutrition. So our gut permeability is higher at night and lower at the day. So we are not meant to eat at midnight. We're not meant to eat after the sunset. So chrononutrition is a big part for sure in also providing eubiosis. So vitamin D, good vitamin D status, so that means being out in the sunshine and being healthy helps to produce vitamin D in your body. And vitamin D is actually correlated with eubiosis. Fasting can also help eubiosis. Yes, at the moment you are fasting, if it's a water fast, your bugs will die because of lack of food. But when you start to reintroduce food, they will be healthier than before. And vaginal birth, as I said. And this is just a detail, right? There's a lot more for causing eubiosis and dysbiosis. So what you can understand is that it's pretty simple. Health is produced by healthful living. So the last part of this first lecture on fiber and microbiome is fecal transplant. A lot of people go to probiotics and fecal transplants to try to fix the problem, but they don't go to the root cause of the problem. You can get a fecal transplant from a healthy fecal donor, but your gut microbiota profile, you'll be sick again because you're not correcting the root cause of the problem. The root cause is your lifestyle. So that's why I am a huge proponent. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart in natural hygiene. A medicine model that preaches only lifestyle measures to treat disease and produce health. So we don't treat disease actually, we produce health. We study health to understand the causes of it, to help our patients to avoid the things that cause disease and interact with the things that produce health. So, what are your thoughts? Do you have microbiota imbalances? Do you have dysbiosis? Do you have eubiosis? Did you like the lecture? What do you want to see more? Please comment below. So, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, comment below, hit the bell button for get the notifications, give it a thumbs up, and share this video with everybody that needs to hear this message. And click these videos to know more.